Okay, so for step 6 of this 10-part video, I'm going to be going over some Adobe Premiere Rush CC tips, so that way when we start working in your actual project, you'll already know what to do. So we're going to go over some of these pre-recorded videos, and I'm going to do my best to narrate. So over here, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the timeline and layers stuff. So over here, there's 2 layers. You have one over here and one over here. So it's broken off into audio stuff, which is what's seen in green, and photo and video stuff, which is what's seen above it, like right over here. So you can zoom in by pinching, and you can scrub through by just swiping left to right, just by like moving your finger around. And so over here you'll see your time code, that's where you are. And over here what I did now, I just moved something to a different layer, and I moved this to a different layer. So now there are 4 different layers going around. You can do that just by holding and dragging it to a different layer. So I'm just moving it around. And I'm still doing it just to really show that you can move it around as much as you want. And over here is your play and pause button, in case you did just want to play through and see everything. But I think that's pretty much the basis of your timeline. You have a visual layer that you can break off into multiple, and you have an audio layer which you can break off into multiple layers. So the audio stuff is in green, and you'll see like a little preview of all your photo and video needs. Okay, so next we're going to be going over how to move clips around. So I already talked about it just a little bit, but just to sort of clarify everything. So to move things around, you can just touch it, and you'll know that it's selected when it's highlighted in orange. When you do that, you can just hold it and drag it. You can move it up to a different layer, and if it's like a green layer, you can move it down. So these go up and these go down, and as you see, I'm just doing it. And when you do that, it actually creates the space for you. So there's no spaces, but it just sort of moves things around in different places. So you don't really have to worry too much about that. You don't need to make any weird blank spaces and move it. It'll all just do that for you. So it's very nice, intuitive, and very smooth. It's very easy. And I think from here, I'm just sort of messing around, so we can just move on to the next video. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about how to adjust the size of the pictures. So as you see over here, there is some blank space, and all I did was I just touched it. You'll see it's a little outline in blue, and I just pinched it, just like zooming in if you're on any sort of website. I'm doing the same thing here, and if you want to like specifically capture something, you can also do that. You can just zoom in and you can pinch it. You'll just see that there's this blue outline. You do that just by like tapping the picture and then by pinching with your fingers. It's very intuitive, and it should be very smooth. Okay, and next on these tips we have how to cut and delete clips. So if you need to shorten the time or just the time, what I did was I grabbed this pair of scissors. So when you are selecting a clip, see how it's highlighted in orange? You can just press the scissors and it'll cut it directly in half. And to delete it, so if you see right here, I'm about to cut it, you can press the trash can on whatever's selected in orange, it'll delete it. So whatever's selected in orange, and when you press the trash can, it deletes it. Whatever you select in orange and you press the scissors, it cuts it in half. And then you can press the half you don't want and press the delete button. Okay, so continuing still, we only have 2 more videos, so we should be good. Okay, so next we'll be talking about how to adjust the end times of a clip. So along with cutting, you can also shorten the time of a clip. So if you see right there, I am shortening the clip. It was originally right here, but I moved it over there. So what you'll see is there are these like fat orange bars that will appear. You can touch it and you can drag it inwards. So right there, you'll see that little bar. I'm just dragging it and it shortens it. So it gets rid of all the information from where it was to the location you're stopping it at. So same thing over here. I dragged it by touching the fat orange part, and I moved it inwards. So that is how you adjust the end times of a clip. And yeah. Alright, so the last part of this little tips and tricks for Adobe Premiere Rush is how to add transitions. So transitions is like when between like photos and videos, it fades to white or it fades to black, or it'll just sort of fade into each other. So we're going to talk about how to do that in this little video. So when you get to the part that you like, you can press this little weird triangle button, and you have a couple of options. So what I did there just now, I did a cross dissolve, so that sort of fades it into one another, and it'll add it to the beginning and end of the clip you pick. So I'm gonna go here again, and I press dip to black, so now if you'll see, it'll sort of dip to black. And so that's how you get that little cool fading transition. And then I believe here in a second I'm going to show you the dip to white. So like I said, just press this, and then I press dip to white. And then now when I do that, you get a nice little dip to white. And sorry about that notification. And that is pretty much how you add transitions. You just select the clip you want in orange, you'll press this button, and you'll see the option between a cross dissolve, dip to black, and a dip to white. And so now, I believe that in my eyes, you guys are ready to now start editing your video. You now know how to describe the timeline and the layers, you know how to move the clips around, you know how to adjust the size of the pictures, you know how to cut the pictures, and you know how to delete the remaining part, you know how to adjust the end times, and you know how to add transitions.